Hey, we're live. We're live.
We are live, are we not?
Yeah.
Yay!
They're knocking down our doors, wanting to come to the show.
Is that what it is? Is that
Yeah,
what it is?
yeah, yeah.
All right. Let's see what we can do here. What can I do here? All right. So really, what I was thinking was, um, let's
Draw some wicked characters.
yeah. So we need a photo reference of something, and
Okay.
I want to go through with you on um what would make a good so we go through the steps on creating the character, right?
Okay.
So
We're live. CJ, you want to come up?
hey CJ, welcome to Jump In.
Let's see. And CJ is going to charge us buku money.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, I know
Using,
he's been buku moneying like crazy. I think he
yeah,
made like this whole week $100 billion or something like that.
yeah. Oh well, if you want to stay in the business, you gotta invite
I
the
know it's pretty
stars.
smart
Yeah,
actually,
yeah,
running everybody else's link for them so they can get more subs.
yeah.
I wish I came up with that racket.
Yeah.
that's my only thing.
Oh, well, hold on. Am I look dark? Am I looking dark here? Let me see if I can
I think
take.
you're okay. It's the light in the background that's
This,
doing the.
let me see.
All
How does
right.
it look now? How does it look now?
Oh, that looks good. There you go.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah. Uh, there's a Blicker. Hey, Blicker, what's up?
Hey, all right.
Drumming. Mr. Loke,
We
how
are
you doing?
we are going to be drawn today. We're going to be drawn today.
Yeah, we'll be
We'll
on
be
for about
drawn
an
today.
hour or so, maybe a little bit over.
So
So we're gonna draw a wicked characters.
So I guess from the musical, right?
Yeah,
So
it's a musical.
are we gonna do the witch, or are we gonna do the was it Belinda? I forget what's her name.
Glinda,
Is it Glenda or
Glenda,
Glenda or
Glenda,
something? One of
Glenda. Yeah,
the
yeah,
the
the
carry.
pretty one, the black, the blonde lady one.
The Ariana Grande character or
Yeah,
the
Ariana Grande.
The good, the good
I
witch.
like a witch myself.
okay. So we're gonna do the witch. Okay.
Yeah.
So do you want to do the poster kind of witch, or do you want to do something? Okay. So
I got some. You want me to show you some images?
if you want to, yeah, let's pick something you want, and let's see. I'm gonna walk you through the process of how do you break that. What do you call it? How do you break the image down into shapes? Then we'll start like copying it without actually doing grid lines. Have you done that before? The grid line stuff?
We
Mm-mm.
like stuff.
Yeah. So for example, if you take a photo reference and you draw a bunch of grid lines,
Yeah.
then
I
you
done that
transfer that
before.
grid line to an artwork,
Uh-huh.
right? So the idea for a lot of this is just to get you into like drawing the head and the skull, right? Because later on, I want you to when it comes to Heroes World for the next convention, you'll be able to punch out a bunch of sketch cards. Right?
I like this particular pose. Oh,
It's
you
not
like that
about the
one?
pose; it's about the face and the
Yeah,
portrait.
yeah, no, I mean, I like this particular face angle where it's 45
Okay.
degrees. Okay, let me see. Say copy image, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it in here. Who's here? Hey, yes, CJ. Hey, CJ, spam,
Woo! All
Hey,
right,
spam.
CJ.
well,
Love the
I
hands,
came
by the
off.
way.
I came on to just to show you the tribute that was made to me. To me,
Wow.
not to you. To me. You see this? You have bronze hands?
The golden hand. Is that
They're
gold or
bronze.
bronze? Oh, they look gold.
They're bronze hands with Brahms Spam and Kool-Aid Man.
Who did that?
And don't forget the googly eyes. Oh,
And the
listen.
googly eyes.
Yeah, just in case you can't get a good look at this, why don't you look now? Look now. You see that? That. You see? That's right. That's right.
What
Bask
is this,
in my
Cat?
glory. Bask in my glory.
Oh,
That's
you're supposed to be your. Oh, yeah. I think they got your fat hand. Okay.
CJ,
That's right.
way better than any mustache or hairdo.
Oh yes, my friend. You know this here is a tribute, not a troll.
That's right.
There's a difference. The plastic awards, they're a troll to me. This is a
Hey,
tribute.
come on.
This is a
Come
tribute.
on, man. Come on, this is not a this. Of course, as soon as I pull this up, Blitz's gonna pull out two of them. But
Well, listen, I'm going to tell you guys this.
Man, what are you talking about? This ain't. It's awesome. Look at it. It lights up. It lights up.
Wait. Let me ask you something. Does that award say Best Artist or and Worm Award, or just Best
I'm
Artist?
your favorite artist. I'm your favorite artist.
A favorite artist or favorite? Does it say favorite artist or favorite Worm Award, or just favorite
community artist? Favorite community artist.
Okay. What if it said favorite Worm Award on there?
A comic book worm. A comic book worm right there.
Yeah, but what if it said community favorite worm? How would you like that?
I don't care. I like what I said.
Shit. You say that because there's no favorite worm award. If there was a favorite worm award, and then they lumped the favorite worm award with favorite testicles award, then you wouldn't like it. You wouldn't like it.
I never claimed I had the best testicles.
You wouldn't like it if your worm was lumped in with testicles. You would not like that.
I never claimed I had the best testicles.
So CJ, what you're saying that is the hands are tied to the testicles in this community awards is what you're saying.
I believe there's a very big testicle that's in charge of those awards. That's what I would say.
I don't know, man.
Sorry, man. I got to throw a matzo ball up every now and again.
Yeah. Did you guys miss me? I kind of miss being me. I kind of miss being me, and I feel like somebody had to give me a wake up call that I haven't been me in a while. So
was that Biggie Jack?
Perhaps.
Yeah, perhaps.
Does it say fragile?
So ever since that wake up call, I'm like, you know what? That's what the community's been missing. The real comic journey. That's what they've been missing. Not a shell of the comic journey. Full spam comic journey. That's what you're getting.
How are you, sir?
How did we get so lucky to have full comic journey? Did your girlfriend go on holiday or something?
No, she's studying.
She's studying. Okay,
She's
that
studying.
makes sense.
It's off.
Making Snickers.
That's why I asked how long he's gonna be out, because she's gonna probably call me when she's done with studying and say, "Hey, can you bring me this?" I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'll bring you this." And then I'm like, "Can I get something when I come?" She's gonna say, "Oh no, you can't have this. You can't have this. It's gonna get all freaking weird tonight. Trust me."
Hello, Christine.
Hey,
All
Christine.
right. We're gonna get back to our project here, bud. You wanna draw with us?
Listen, I will draw with you, but I came so you could look and bask in my glory.
Okay,
That's right.
we saw it, man.
And the googly eyes.
Can I take it off the screen now?
No,
You
you can keep this. You can keep this out all the time if you like. This will bring you views.
We should clip it and just have it on loop.
It will bring you views, I assure you.
All right.
And then you will pay me.
Yeah, I pay you $1 billion, right?
Gazillion.
Yeah.
A gazillion.
Gazillion.
Yeah, he doesn't deal in billions, just gazillions.
Gazillion.
That's right.
All right.
CJ, Christina says, that's truly amazing.
That is amazing.
And Christina, you're amazing for acknowledging how amazing I am as well.
I think she said The gift was amazing. I don't know about you.
That too.
Apology here for the CJ apology tour.
Okay, Corgi, apologize.
What
You're
were we
here for it.
apologizing for? What were we apologizing for?
Oh, you have a million things to apologize to me about.
Me?
Yeah,
Me?
pick one. Pick one.
I have nothing to apologize you about. I
You're
just tell the
mean-
truth. I just tell the truth.
No, you're a very mean man. That's what you are.
I'm just I know sometimes my honesty hurts.
The pot calling the kettle black over here.
Mean man.
All right, Luke. Tell us
right.
what's
So we're gonna concentrate on the Wicked Witch, right?
okay. We get
Of the
witch.
West. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So see how she's looking that way. So normally what I do is like I'm gonna draw this out like the shape for you. So we're gonna go loose with the skull, right?
I'll be right
And
back.
she's
I'll be right back.
looking. She's
Wait,
looking
hold-
this way.
Hold on a second. Look, just one question for you. Are we all doing this while you're
If
telling?
you want, but what I'm doing is I'm gonna break down. So you can watch it afterwards, but you can actually break down how I see the
Then-
image.
Shouldn't you be on the big screen showing this to everybody?
Yeah, I guess if you want to do that. Let's see.
There you go. That makes a lot more sense. Now we could see what you're doing.
Right.
Worm, take notes.
What's he doing?
Where's he going? Where the hell is he going?
He said
I
he'd
don't
be
know.
right back.
What's he doing? I don't like it when he's quiet.
Yeah, he's really, really quiet. He's really, really quiet. Let's see. Can you focus? Focus.
He's a
scary individual when he's
quiet.
Okay, so I'm gonna hold this up a little bit.
Yeah.
So the actual image itself is basically she's looking this way, right? Then her head and her back. So really she's looking like that. So normally what I do is let's see, can we put the reference on one of the images, or I don't know how that works.
Okay. So we're drawing a witch with a head.
Yep.
Do we have to color her?
You don't need the color. So right now we're just gonna do the shape, right? So I'm using a what color is this? This is a some sort of brown color or purple, right?
And we're going for
We're
realism, right?
It doesn't have to be realism. So the idea is to be as loose, right? And it's all about breaking down the shape of a skull, right? So you're looking at, so she is literally looking like this away, with her back being like that. Okay, so normally what I do is I take the skull portion, and so that's the first shape. A lot of the time, I just quickly do something like really rough, like this. Then I draw a center line where she's supposed to be facing. So that is how I always start my line work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then as the center line, I try to close that off with this other line where on the side of her face. And, like I'm just breaking things down, like here's their jawline, right? And there's usually like the forehead section if you're doing the Loomis method, right? So then because her head is facing this way and this is her shoulder, right? So she's actually turning. So this is part of her shoulder. So this is how I break down the subject. So as you can see, I'm slowly breaking down the subject, right? Then the line that she's facing is, because she is looking this way, it's actually, if you think of a circle, you're going at a curve. So everything comes at a curve.
I got a stupid observation.
Sure.
Okay. And I thought I was the only one that did this, but apparently I'm not the only one that does this. Is it me, or does everybody's initial forms that are being put together for heads and bodies and stuff like that always look masculine before they feminize?
Well, the right now is I'm showing you the shape, right? It's not about the masculinity yet, because what happens is, see how I'm using these angles?
It's gender neutral, yeah.
It's really gender neutral right now. A lot of the stuff that are broken down is I'm just doing what they call planar drawing. So I'm showing you behind the scene of what, like the plane of the face, right?
I understand it's gender neutral, but I
Right.
do not want to have a woman with that jawline.
Of course not, but that's where you break things down. This is where
Good
the eraser
confidence.
comes in, right? So what I want to do is I want to show you right now what I'm doing is this is how I see the shape, right? Ideally, a lot of the time it's a lot quicker. So a lot of the time, if I am drawing the person, I'm like trying to figure out where her lines are. A lot of the lines are really curved, like a lot of lines are what do you call it? When you're drawing women, it's you have to keep the lines very curvy all the time, right? So
Right from the get-go.
from the get-go, if you are drawing female characters, see, look, I don't need to draw those construction line because I already pretty much have a lot of it, right? A lot of it is already in. Like, if you want to, you can start breaking down some of the construction lines.
Hey, but wait a minute. Now you're taking a different pose. than you had
Exactly,
before.
but I'm still doing the same thing, right? What I want to show you is this is how I start learning the shapes. A lot of it is just learning the shape. Here is I've already passed that. There's you know how you watch YouTube videos of guys drawing, all of a sudden it's like, wait, where is the construction lines? I want to start off everybody doing these construction lines, right? Because this here, what you're seeing here is later on when we do a comic panel, like when we break down, let's say a scene from a comic book or something from a page. Let me see if I can hold one.
The reason I asked that is because it's something that I have noticed not only in my art, in other people's art, and now in your art. It's everything starts as male form. I don't know why.
It's very it's very like a lot of the let me see, a lot of the
Let me show you something.
a lot of the
I don't normally draw my faces using any kind of a construction line. Let me show you what I do.
See, because look what I did. That's pretty male-ish as well. It's gonna end up looking like a female.
It's
but it's kind of male.
I don't know how they quite explain it, but that's how we start very general neutral. But what if you notice, see how, like, for me, I naturally gravitates towards angle lines. But once I start getting rid of that angle lines, everything starts to become softer. Right? So once you start getting into
Anachronic Comics says he's just subscribed to Loke. Thank you.
Oh.
Figure drawing. Draw a human skull from memory. Life size. And one is on their way. Remember to hit the thumbs up. Christina Payne. Otaku. Hey guys, what's going on, Otaku?
Here's my...
So I'm just drawing the base. So a lot of the lips is literally you are you are doing this.
Hey, Otaku-yang.
Worm, did you freaking mute me?
I didn't mute you.
Was I
didn't
talking? Was I talking to myself this whole time?
You weren't
No, I
talking at
didn't
all.
mute you.
I think you were you on mute?
Yeah, I was on mute.
No way.
That's funny.
Don't blame us. Here's mine. There you go, my outline. See? What I like to do on mine is instead of I like my eyes on there. I like my eyes on there as in little sockets.
Yeah, you start with this. This is how a lot of the facial structures are socket based, right?
Yeah.
Then
So I like to draw that little skull socket right there before I start the eyes. So.
Let's see. Did I? I'm trying to remember. I know I printed some skulls.
Bleak, you're doing this too?
No, I'm smoking pot and watching you fools.
You probably do better while you're smoking pot.
Yeah, you probably does way better when you're doing that.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of doing some writing right now. I am doing a little bit of drawing, but just not on that. I sort of have a project I'm working on.
I got a great character for you.
Oh yeah?
About this wormy guy on YouTube.
Oh, don't you worry about that. Wormy might already be a character.
If you need to add an ethnicity to him, Korean would be a good one. We need more Korean characters. So this Korean wormy character on YouTube that goes and invades everybody's space. And where you don't know. What?
You know,
Hey, just don't leave your space empty.
There's something believable about this character. He's got a good.
Don't leave your space empty.
I could tell Naman likes this idea.
See, CJ, once you get the basic form, you can start. It's basically what you're doing is you are slowly cutting away. It's like sculpting, right? It's the rendering process, right? This is where we come in and we start softening the jaw lines, bringing these angles of the face of the right. So that's what I'm doing. Is these are the facial structure. I draw these half sockets like you see, like this big socket. It's basically this is the brow line that I use, and your eyeball sits in that socket. Then you start drawing like the eye as if it's wrapping around that, right? But this is where you can get stylized. Like you do, if you want to do like the Scott Campbell, you start drawing eyelashes that are like, let me pick a different color, right? So you can start going in and drawing the eyebrow push like the eye line pushing up, right? Then you have these little like folds in the face and the eyes, right? But there's always, if you notice earlier, I had this angle, the forehead comes down and the nose starts, right? So there's this shape of this, like this angle V that you can do. The nose kind of sits in this space. So really there's like these planes that are on the face itself, right? So this like bottom triangle that sits. So it's like, if you're looking at sideways, that's that triangle. But if you're looking at like as if it's like at an angle, that's what you're looking at. This is how your nose sit on the face.
So I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do while you're doing this. First of all, the reason I'm going to do this is because I don't have sharp pencils and I'm too lazy to go find a sharpener right now. Okay. So the second reason I'm going to do this is because I kind of been playing around with this the other day. I showed you I've been going back to the whole erasing out the form through shadows and that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So I'm going to do the smudge erase technique.
Yep.
But using the same form that you're doing with the marks.
Because this is where, like, right now, like a lot of the time when we first started out, we always use the pencil, right? But I'm using a color pencil here, and this is where, like, I can start doing like the shading portion of the face just to bring in some structure of the character. See, I'm really like, so you saw me do these little light lines here and there. The forehead is this semicircle, like her hat and so forth. Her hairline is somewhere here, right? And her hat and her neck, because her neck turns, there's this like muscle portions, right? And this is her back. And so now you have this shoulder portion, but that's really what this line is, this one generic line. So a lot of it is we do these little sweeping. That's why you kind of like when you're drawing, if you're drawing or copying somebody in real life, the best form is to start off with just the base, just something that you can quickly, like, if you've seen painters, you know how we quickly kind of do the shapes, right? Because later on, when you actually get into comic books, when you're doing thumbnails, like, so now you have these panels in comics. And now the best way is, how do I fill this space to tell a better story? So if you have two characters, maybe they have one character. So that's my character there. Here's my eye socket, maybe right here. My nose is right here, maybe my cheekbone. So this character is facing this way. So this is the secondary character. So you just kind of, you kind of do these shapes and these directions. Now you have yourself a thumbnail of that form. If you have another panel and it's like a Jack Kirby action shot that breaks the, so look, I'm literally doing these really quick, like, I have this thing that was like taught where I'm doing these, like, you'll see that we call it an action line. Like, we kind of draw this overarching direction for characters. That's where, the Kirby like style comes in, and that's really, really cool, because that's like a lot of it's over expression, right? It's over exaggerated poses and stuff like that, but it works well in comics. I don't know what it is, right? So those are the kind of things. Then you get into let me see, you get into like Eisner's work, and he does these wonderful, again, there really are like these action lines where the character kind of like overreaches and stuff, and they work really well. See if I can find something with the spirit that just, everything he does is just like extra exaggerations and stuff like that. It's just fantastic. That's a good book to have, by the way, if you guys are into those things. But yeah,
book.
So yeah, so see how I'm like drawing her. I'm adding extra lines in here so you can actually see where things are. So you can actually see. Normally, I don't do this. This is not right.
Oh my God! I just looked at your piece. I took a look piece. We are doing the completely different pieces right now.
Yes.
What the hell?
That's what interpretation is. This is what I like about the art, right? This is how I break down. So there's no wrong or right way. It's just the way I see it. This is how I saw from that reference image of her looking, right?
So are you looking at the reference right now as you're doing this?
I'm looking at that really tiny thing in the bottom corner here.
All right, so that's where I fucked up. I looked at it once.
Yeah.
I didn't look at it. All right, whatever comes out of my piece is going to come out of my piece. Oh yeah, mine does not look anything like that.
Right.
you know what? I don't care. It's gonna look like
Exactly,
something.
Right. Mine's not even like I'm not even looking like there's more. You can see the other eye on mine, right? So her hair is overlapping her ear.
That's not. That's
So
not
her hair is
that
doing
off.
this now.
That's not that off.
First of all, the whole pose is different.
Right.
I'm up too, though. I'm up too.
All right, mine's gonna be 3/4.
I
Sorry,
like the chin line. I like the
And
chin
mine
line.
is mine.
that looks like a cowboy girl.
Well,
like
it's I don't have the. I don't have the
I'm talking about the hat.
Yeah.
That's a cowboy girl hat. I like that.
Yeah. Maybe a little thin it up a little bit. Thin it up a little bit.
No, keep going with the way you're going. See where it comes at
Right.
the end of the day.
See, look, I mean, this is really what I'm doing. Is as you can see, I'm just. But you have to remember, I've been doing this way longer, right? So I might be skipping out on certain things that like shortcuts that I've like. If you draw enough, it becomes a muscle memory, right? Like if you guys remember when you were drawing heads or face or shoulders or something, you draw it enough time, you kind of know where things are gonna be, right? So it becomes this muscle memory. So
Let me.
Doesn't it always have to be
That means-
pointy?
Let me just draw. Let's see.
Isn't
I'm
a
gonna
witch nose pointy?
yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna just.
Her nose is not.
I'm not gonna use any construction line. I'm just gonna take a pen. No, I'll be right back.
Okay.
He's giving you the instructions for you, and you're gonna ignore everything he's saying.
All right.
See what I mean with this guy?
So he's frustrated because his control is a little different than my control. But my control has been I've been drawing a lot longer, right? Even though he's older, I've been drawing like 10,000 hours, right? So a lot of the time when you are working on like a character,
Anybody here watch the Wicked, by the way?
And I'm frustrated because I don't have a sharp pencil.
I'm gonna take my pen.
just use anything. Just use it on the sideway. CJ, use it. This is what I do.
I've already eaten half of the pencil off.
Oh, you already that.
I got another one that I'm reserving to try to refine it, but that one's dull too. I just don't want to get up and look for the sharpener right now.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna use this. I'm gonna use this pen I got. I need to figure out how much ink is coming out. I think it's running out of ink. I do need to feel out. Need to figure out
I'm such an idiot.
how much of my ink is. How much of my ink is. I need. Yeah. Okay. I think that's not enough ink. I'm gonna go ahead and take that. And something that what's his name? CJ mentioned. Does always start with the male, and mine normally don't. Let me show you what I mean. You say where you always starts with male face because I don't do construction lines. Let me see.
You go straight.
I just do the outline first. Like I go, well, that looks like a. You know, so that doesn't look to me. That doesn't look like a male structure, does it? Right? So,
No, but you're going straight lines right there for like without the, you know, in that the way you're doing it is like if you don't go soft with the lines.
yeah.
You can go soft. With the line
Your ways is better going
right?
feminine and going male off of the feminine if you're going to go that way because it's easier to add lines when you're with straight to ink than to take away them.
Because if you're going directly to ink, that's a whole different thing. But if like a lot of the time I don't go directly to ink, I lay down some sort of construction lines for my characters. especially if I'm trying to copy a pose, right? A lot of the time, if I'm making it up, a lot of this is already the construction line is I've done enough where I can just almost skip it. It's kind of like our shortcut, right? We've gotten to a point where we can just, I always end up like, it doesn't matter what I do. I always end up with a light circle, right? Like my circle, my face, whatever the stuff is, right? I always end up, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, but look, no matter how comfortable you get, I have a feeling you still do the basic lines on
I
all your
still
work.
do the basic line. You can see these very, very basic, just enough, right? Like
just to give a you know, something to work off of.
Well,
exactly.
you gotta get your perspective right.
I have to always set my perspective. I
That's
always
exactly
draw
how I
this
look
center
at it.
line. I always end up with this center line. So no matter what I do, my center line is always, and you remember, on female characters, you have to have a lot of curves. The curves themselves, you can exaggerate. There's a lot of curves.
Oh, believe me, mine's gonna really have some exaggerated curves on it.
Right? So that's like a lot of the nose, the arch is curved like.
Oh, will it have exaggerated lines? I'm
Right.
looking at the lights right now. This could be Worm Edition exaggerated lines.
Right. Hey, Jaguar. Brad. Kenneth. Yeah, because a lot of this stuff is like the construction line is what I want to teach right now is just to get the profile head. If you can draw the head if you start drawing the head, circle, center line, wherever it is, that is my character, right? Circle, center line, and if I draw my face, now that character is like looking up.
Hey, Loke.
Yeah.
How does it feel teaching somebody that's ignoring every single thing you're telling them right now?
That's how I feel. It doesn't matter. I did the same.
I'm just saying.
Hey,
It's normal because the I'm giving just enough information for the other people who is actually watching on this and see how I think, because this is my thought process for a lot of this stuff.
right.
But you just got to know it in the back of your head, because one day it's gonna kick back in when you're drawing something. You're gonna go like, "Hey, oh yeah, you know what? What if I start doing this construction line? What if I start doing just the center line and the circle first? Then I can fill out the rest." Then it's all about like once you figure out what it is, because I can't really I can't force you to do every step, because I went through that just so I can get the shape of the head the way I wanted to. I got to a point where I can actually do a bunch of profiles really quickly and fast, because I had to go through this, because if I'm sitting at a con and I'm, somebody's commissioning me to draw Jean Grey, or I could have turned this into Jean Grey. I could have turned it. It's the same construction line. It's the same, direction of the head and pose, right? I can turn that into Cyclops. I can turn that into the Beast. It's just basically, I need to give enough info to start off with a basic skull, because each character in the Marvel universe, the DC, the Batman, all you have to do is just change the shape of the jaw, or the angle of the jaw, or the forehead, and the base is still there. It's just now you are playing with the different dimensions of the characters, right?
You know what I'm struggling with right now? The fact that she doesn't have a pointy nose. Freaking witches are supposed to have pointy
Put a
noses.
pointy nose on her and see what happens. I
You
swear.
know, I think that's what I'm going to
You
do.
don't
Like,
have
what
to
Yeah.
put over whatever nose you want on it.
Yeah.
not a big nose, a pointy nose. It's
I said
different.
whatever nose you want. I say whatever you want nose you want on her, man.
Or like a stuck-up nose.
Well, your stuck-up nose.
Oh, it's Kenneth's birthday. Happy birthday.
Don't you worry about where my nose is stuck up.
You're stuck up.
Oh man. Kenneth just 65 today. Woo!
Oh, congratulations.
65. Oh my God.
You
My
made it.
senior. You're my senior.
Worm, in like about 20 years, he'll be as old as you are.
Hey. Don't enjoy that too much. See, I do my construction too.
You know, I'm going to make her look like a freaking witch. That's what I'm going to make her look like. The way she's supposed to look.
Construction.
Witchy. Witchy and bitchy. That's what I'm going to make her look like.
Okay. So see the construction lines is still in here. There's just subtle, right? Even when I did the thing, there's still like these construction lines, right? You'll see like these little red, see? Those are my construction lines, right? I got into a point where I got it to a certain section where I can actually like do enough damage when I'm doing these pieces. It's all about like directions, what they're looking at, and you know who's doing what and the whole bit. So when you get into that mode, it's the hardest part is figuring out the poses, right? Because everything else, the render and all that stuff comes after. That's easy because you already have the main portion of the characters all laid out, right?
All right.
You
want to see what I came up with as far as pre-render, like just sketch outline right now?
Yeah.
All right. She gonna look like a freaking witch. Damn it. She gotta look like a witch. That's the way I look at her.
Yeah. There you go. Right?
Is she curvy enough for you, Worm?
Oh, you put a boob on her.
Why? Witches don't have boobs.
No,
Here's a
fine.
technique for next time. If you are drawing nose, try doing like a V like triangle based on where it is. So you end up with this V.
Yeah, like right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But don't forget, I'm gonna throw a lot of shading on here and start erasing out everything.
Start erasing in the whole bit. Yeah.
So I just needed to put basic lines on where everything's gonna go.
Yeah.
We'll see where this is gonna end up because like a pointless pencil is really tough to work with. So let's see how. We'll see.
That's why I always have this around. I have that. I have this. I have I have these.
Well, I wasn't planning on drawing right now, and I said that next time you guys are on, I would do my best to jump on. When I saw you go live, I'm like, damn it! All right,
This is great. This is great.
let me do
Everybody's participating, right? Because eventually, what I want to do is, if you guys want for the next one, if you want to copy a panel, let me know. I'll grab a panel and we can do a panel or a splash page, right? The reason why I wanna do this kind of stuff is I think it'd be more fun. Is you want to see how the pose is broken down using the construction lines. After that, you guys can do whatever you guys want. You can
honestly, I think before you go to panels, look, you should go to one sequence.
Yeah, I could do that if you guys want.
And then go from sequence and then to panel, because like I think that's the first step, showing one sequential action and then take it to a full panel.
Let's see, Red. Luck, I was wondering when you did the Fantastic Four cover, use something on the title to cover it. Oh yeah, a lot of the stuff, it's just basically Posca acrylic. It doesn't have to be Posca. It could be anything. I have acrylic white
I'm
from.
gonna go ahead and put a big blue
So-
one or two then.
So Rad was asking about how I covered that. So I have these acrylic markers. Let's see where.
The worm just DM me that the boobs aren't big enough, so I'll work on them for you, Naman. I'll make them a little bigger, just to satisfy your wormy needs.
Let's see.
I'm surprised you didn't jump on with us on Sunday, Loke.
Sunday,
Yeah, because
Monday. Usually, I have to be up by 5 a.m.
anyways.
I gotta take the wife to the train station and everything.
I thought you just got scared off by the votes that the public was giving everybody.
Oh no. So Rad was asking how I covered up the logo. Okay. So if you are working on a white cover, it's just basically any acrylic markers, acrylic white. So the really expensive one that I like using is the Posca marker. Okay. These are about $5-6 for one of these things. But if you hit the dollar store, you can pick up these dollar store markers where it gives you enough, right? So the secret for this, if you want to go smooth stuff, is when you cover your area, have a brush that is a little wet handy, and that way you can just, if you put too much, because sometimes these things leak, right? Or put it on have a scratch card and push a lot, use your brush and just paint in the area. You don't need a lot because you're going to cover it again with other colors. Now, the drawback of using the acrylic here is that when it dries, it's a plastic. So you have to remember that, right? There's other solutions you can get. You can actually get like a white ink. They are, do I have any white ink?
Or go really fucked up like me, use whiteout.
You could use whiteout too.
That's really old school. You know that, right? Loke?
Yeah, I used to have a lot of that. So I have like bleed proof white. You can pick these up. They're really expensive for a bottle, but notice how I haven't used in a while because it tends to dry really quickly if if you don't seal it correctly. That will do it. I bought this at Sterling Art back in the days for $5.99 for like this little bottle here. I'm sure it's a lot more, right? It's only like 1 fluid ounce, right?
They also make white India inks as well.
That will work too, right? It's just that because when I color afterwards, instead of using alcohol marker, I actually use acrylic paint, right? So hit the dollar store and you'll see these fluid acrylic paint. The thing with fluid acrylic is that it's designed like watercolor. It's very smooth and you got to put it really thick if you want to cover a certain area, right? And what I do is just cover it lightly enough area and I color it afterwards. And that's why it looks like I'm covering the area, right? So that's one cheat. So yeah, going about covering the logos and stuff. Now, if you have a black cover, that's another whole different thing too, right? Use black, right, to cover the area. But a lot of time you can just paint over it.
Nah, man, what I'm doing right now is it's a style in itself, but at the same time, it's a little bit of a cheat for people that don't have a steady hand. I have a shaky hand through like I have some nerve damage that I have in my hand. So one of the reasons that I do that a lot of times is because I have sometimes hard time doing really refined lines, and that's one of the reasons why I've reverted a lot of my style towards more sketchy work. But you could get some good results doing the smudging and erasing technique. So
That's
sometimes
really
if you're
what it is you don't have to be precise. You just got to be loose. That's what I keep telling like just start loose, because what happens is you start loose and you start light, and then you can get darker by going over the same area at the same pace, right? That's all it is just going over the same area at the same lightness, and it gets darker, right? So when you're working with when you're drawing stuff, right, especially if you're penciling, if you're just penciling stuff, you don't really need, because if you have an inker that knows what he's doing, or if you're doing your own inking, you can probably just lay enough formation for yourself. The secret to drawing women is the less line. Keep the line on the face to a minimum if you can.
and if you have a good inker, you could literally do one level over stick figures, and the inker could literally make that thing pop. It doesn't matter, if they know what they're doing, they could really do a good job.
Yeah.
But the reason I said that is I know they get frustrated a lot of times.
Yep.
Through lack of control, and this style might actually help him get looser.
There you go, Nauman. Right? I noticed you're doing a lot of scratching. That's right. When you're drawing your line.
Yeah, my line's not straight.
It's okay, because what see the thing is with this is what we're doing is we're starting you off with something, right? Because right now is a lot of the background can be filled in by just doing. See, now you're building shape, right? And you're building focus. That's what this is. This is all about building shapes and focus. That's right.
Anybody in the chat right now?
Yeah, there's still a bunch of people.
We got Kirby, we got Chop. Hey, Chop!
If there's anybody in the chat right now, like just curious about what we're doing, and if there's anything in particular of why we're doing what we're doing, throw it in the chat and let us know.
Raz here. Chop is saying hi. Chop. Oh, by the way, let me just in case anybody else want to come in. We're doing the Wicked character arts, so you could do whatever you guys want. Let's see. Paste. Yeah. Let's see. And this is a reference, by the way, I'm using. That's the reference I'm using.
See, her jawline is a little. She's got curve on the jaw.
She's got curvy chin.
Yep. Then her cheek is a little bit more
puffy lips.
Yep. Yeah. Her cheek is now a little bit more. So there you go. See, all I'm doing is, see, Nauman? I'm just taking the image and I'm rendering and I'm putting where the shadows I see in the image is. So now that starts to, form the characters, right? Yep.
Okay. So for the most part, I put all the penciling in here for now that I'm going to do. If you want to show me big before I start smudging, so you can see exactly what it is that it's going to look like and what it's going to turn into.
How does that work? I don't know how to use this to make it big.
Just for a second, so I can show you before and after.
What you want?
Because I'm not taking any pictures, so I could just show you where this is right now. You see where everything is, all the rough sketching and all that stuff that's in there. Okay.
Mhm.
Now I'm going to take a piece of a napkin and I'm literally going to smudge over everything. Every single thing that you see here. It's going to look blurred out. It's going to look all smudgy.
Mm-hmm.
And then after, I'm going to take a clean eraser and I'm going to start erasing all the highlights that you normally would do with the pencil work. I'm going to do that using an eraser.
Mm.
You got me?
Yep.
All right. She's going to wear clothes. This is going to be PG. Okay?
Oh, that's too bad.
Oh, you want her? You want her? You want nipple action? I could put that for you, but I figure you're a lot more PG than I am, and this is prime time.
Yeah.
All right, you don't have to keep me big anymore. I just wanted to show you what I'm doing. Just so you, if you see me like erasing like a maniac, you'll be like, "What the hell is he doing?" You'll know why I'm doing that. See, this is my best friend when I'm doing this technique. A napkin. And if you ever work with charcoals, oh my god, this technique
man.
works so well.
Woo! I've worked with charcoal.
Yeah, but you know how well, you know how beautifully it works with this, right?
Oh, yeah. That's the issue with charcoal is you really have to work off the
Hey,
page.
Aaron, what's up,
You
Aaron?
have to work off the page, not
Aaron's
bring
here.
you down.
Well, it's Norrenrad.
Norman's here. Norman's here.
Jump in, grab pencils and stuff. We're copying Wicked,
Wicked.
We're
Or
doing
you
the
could do
side
your
poke.
own Wicked.
right?
Just as long as it stays within Wicked theme, I'm fine. I love that movie, by the way, guys. I love that movie.
You like
My
you
little
like that
sister
movie or
likes
that
it.
you like that movie?
Huh?
You like the booby or the movie?
Movie.
And the booby?
Movie I always like. That's like a, that don't even, you don't even ask me about that.
Well, I'm just making sure I clarify it for the crowd.
Yeah, come on, you see enough of my clip that says I like boobs.
I think the whole community's seen enough of that clip.
Yeah. Okay. So I gotta. I mean that you don't have to worry about that. You know what I mean? That's
I'll find my paper.
Yeah. What we're doing is I want to show Nam on like just the quick breakdown and how to render and stuff. And that's what CJ is doing. CJ is covering as much as he can, and he's gonna
Alright.
smudge and smear, right? Blend things out. Then he's gonna go in and he's gonna erase out the part, all the highlights and the forms and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just use a color pencil just so you can actually see it on camera on how I broke down. I start out with the basic shape, the construction lines. Normally I bypass a lot of the construction line. I have some basic construction lines I go with, but going back to the old school of being taught construction lines.
I know one thing I do too. The first thing I usually do is I start with the top point of the head. I mark where the top point of the head's going to be, and I mark where the bottom point of the jaw is going to be.
Yeah.
That way I can place on the paper where the head's going to fit. Like if there's a hat, I want to make sure the hat fits. So I got to make sure the head is the right size. If I make the head too big, the hat won't fit.
Yeah.
So I like to just put boundaries.
Yeah. That's your shortcut of doing stuff, right? It's gotten to a point where, for me, a lot of my shortcut is if I want to place somebody somewhere, my head is always going to be that ball. I start with that really circular object of the ball, right? I start with a ball somewhere.
Yeah, I put the ball in after I mark my boundaries.
Yeah. It's always the top of my head. If I want my head to be up here, the ball should be right here, right? Then for me, it's always been what direction do the characters gonna face, right? What makes a better image and how that is. and I always have my center line. So my center line is this weird curve that I start forming space and objects.
No, that's kind of wild how we all kind of are doing like the same approach. However,
Exactly.
yeah, but the funny thing is like we all have a different way of how we're looking at it. Like I start with my focal point. Like I start that's where I start my like for me my focal point on this thing is her right eye.
Yeah.
That's where I wanted to start. And then I worked my like all the way around.
You work your way out. Yeah. Yeah. It's your shortcut. That's really what this is. This is about like shortcut. I'm going through what I'm doing is I'm teaching techniques that I learned in art school. But the way I've gotten it right now is I've been past that. If you've seen on like Poco, I think Poco.
Poco.
Yeah, his video is
Poco.
This is the kind of stuff I've learned, right? That's if you have a lot of time. You start off slow. You start off with one element. You build up another element, right? But now that I've done this professionally for a point where I can actually skip that, right? Rad and yourself, you guys gotten to a point where you already know your shortcut for certain things that you look for, and that's how you work off of, right? For me, I want to be able to teach Naman to say, okay, if somebody says, draw me a sketch card of Wicked. See, look, I mean, it took me, 20 minutes, 30 minutes just to render this in pencil right now at this size. And that was because I'm copying something off there, right? And by doing a copy, we're copying a face is basically we want to copy the pose, the directions, the look, and everything. And the way I do that is I start with a circle, my center line, where it is, and things kind of fall into place, right? And I want to be able to give you guys that shorthand for later on when if you do need to do like a stack of sketch cards that are being sent, right? Like I got 40 of these, just an FYI, not on here, okay? So I'm going to punch those out with all the characters. But because it's a Star Wars series, right, the ball is always going to be the same. It's just the rest of the shape will be different. It'll be either, Mando or Boba Fett or the Knight of Ren or, one of those characters, right? And that's where I need to rely on the reference from all the pieces and the elements. But they all have the same, like you can start off with the ball and the direction line that you want. The jaw line could change because now you can do like a larger jaw line, and maybe this becomes a stormtrooper helmet. Right? It's just this.
If you know the basic geometrics, that's what it comes down to.
That's really what it is. It's just I want to be able to give you guys like my little quick shortcut. But in order to get to that level, you need to draw. And as you draw, you kind of develop this shortcut for yourself, right? A lot of what you guys are doing is you guys drawn enough. You guys are picking up your own little shortcut.
Let me ask you something. You ever see those guys on the street that literally render something and put it together within 5-10 minutes, like fast, like super in full colors too?
Yep.
I heard that there's like a school that a lot of these guys go to learn how to draw that fast.
It's just basically you are drawing live people, and you just end up with these quick poses and quick line works. If you guys watch this on the rerun, you'll see how quickly I did the head, right, on the shape, just to break things down. Then I start slowly rendering this stuff. But I mean, I could have went a little faster, right? But ideally, that's how you develop that skill.
So
But you know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh yeah,
So
I've seen them.
Like
Yeah,
some of these guys, like just out, like they're outstanding. Like what the hell's going
well,
on? Like
I followed your instructions pretty much exactly, except I didn't look at the picture because I
Yeah.
can't see the picture because I'm on my phone. What do you think?
there you go. There you go. See, see,
oh, that's
That-
actually exactly what he's saying to do.
yeah.
I really like the Riley method that you're showing like on your main picture there, because the Riley method I think is better than the Loomis method just because it really shows the lighting, which helps
Is
a
that what
lot
that
with
is?
the color.
Is that
when
what
you-
that is? Is called the Riley method?
Yeah.
See, I thought it was Loomis all the time.
No, man, you
No,
can
that's
get me
just-
out of here, buddy. You can get me out of here, man.
I think it's a mix of both.
The Riley method uses more angles where you see those planes and those triangles and all that.
Loomis has that, all that
The
too.
Loomis method is more curves where you're just finding the place of where everything goes.
No,
I was
Loomis.
taught-
Read the Loomis book, and you will see that he has the planes and shades, values, and all that
the
too.
planes I like using because, believe it or not, I'm a painter background, right? When I was painting and coloring and all that stuff, it's actually the planer helps me out a lot because the plane is where my lights is gonna hit in certain areas. How much I break these elements down. So that's what this stuff is, right?
Mhm.
And that's what I'm used to doing, that kind of things, because that's really when you're rendering. So if I'm painting a section, I do all my dark, my shadows, my light, and my highlight, and I'm building and building and building and building and building, right? It works the
The
same.
other thing I keep in mind is I take in all you say. You know what I mean? I take in everything that all teachers say, but I might not use everything, but I'll take in everything
Exactly.
just so that I
don't
know
need
it
you
and
to
I
use
have that.
everything. I need you to figure it out. As an artist, this is what you need to figure out yourself. What is your shortcut?
Well,
What
I
makes
find that center line is really important when you're drawing. I don't know.
it
Yeah.
is. It is very
Oh
important.
yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Like no matter if it's not, I know it's not always in the center, but yeah, technically it is. So that's like with the shape of it. Well, women's center line is completely different than a man's center line. It's like an S or whatever. So
Yeah.
That's a really good tip to keep women curvy. Don't try to use edges.
And that's
Man-
basically his focal point.
Man is a block, women's are S.
Yeah.
Men are S.
So
Women
like
are S.
right now, I
Oh,
did
yeah,
all the
there
light.
you go.
I did all the light work so far.
Put CJ up on there. There you go.
So right now, what you see is all the light work. Now I got to do the real work.
Yeah. You're gonna go in and you're gonna render and darken the shadows and
Darken the shadows, and
Yeah.
then I'm gonna take a pencil and bring out all the spots that need
Yeah.
to be brought out. So basically, what I'm doing is the inverse version of what you're doing.
Yeah.
With boobs.
but with boobs.
You gotta make sure you had the boobs. That
No, in the book.
we couldn't have a we couldn't we couldn't do
Otherwise,
it.
you fail. F if you don't do boobs.
Here,
F,
Listen, this is for you.
I will change.
This is for you that I'm doing the boobs.
to
F
boobs.
no boobs.
If I was doing this for the crowd, I'd be doing a boobless witch. But I know that you enjoy the boobs, and I appreciate the host, so I need to do the right thing for him.
Thank you. You get A for boobs.
Okay.
Boob gets A. No, it's just automatic. I don't.
But Norrin, that's the approach to take with everything. You absorb.
If you show a ugly penis, that's F. Okay.
Yeah, but then you got to be prepared to be criticized and critiqued by you if you're going to show that ugly penis. So be careful, ugly penis people.
I'm sorry. I'm not a very fair person.
But Norm, that's the right way to take the approach. Absorb everything, take bits and pieces of what work and don't work for what you're looking to do, and what actually you're comfortable doing, because like there's a comfort zone as far as like how your hand moves and how you perceive things, how you're able to like your hand-eye coordination and that kind of thing. So you might see like the way I'm holding the pencil and the way Locust holding the pencil and Worm is holding the pencil. We're all holding our pencils in a different way.
It's the comfort of how you work, the angle, and you have to remember that you are allowed to rotate. Anybody out there who's listening, you are allowed to rotate the paper. So you don't have to do these weird poses and stuff. You can just rotate and it just be comfortable. Because after a while, you learn to draw where you have to be comfortable when you're drawing. If you're not, it's going to show through your artwork. You're going to be struggling through it, right? You're going to create extra lines you might not need, but I mean, that might turn out the way you want it to turn out, right?
Did anybody tell you that I'm the best upside down artist on YouTube?
That's another word.
Upside down artist.
That's
Good
right.
job.
It's really about like I just want to give you guys like a way, just be loose, because you are like you're gonna end up doing a lot of this. If you are gonna end up learning, you've got to be very comfortable, right? You got to be very comfortable, and it's got to be enjoyed, right? And this is my zen moment when I'm doing these kind of things, right?
Zen moments.
Yeah, it's you know how I get through my day after a long day or whatever the stuff is, right? I sit down and I just draw, because it becomes a chore when you have to draw 40 cards in like a month and a half, right?
I think
And if you don't enjoy it, you're just grinding away, right?
repetition probably helps, I would imagine.
It is. It's quickly. I just punch out 40 circles with some directional lines. That's how I go about each sheet. And I just start hitting them, going one after another. If I write on the paper, it says this is going to be Boba Fett, right? Head, whatever. Then after that is me just quickly going over, and I say, okay, where am I going to put the light? How am I going to see the light? Is the color going to come from the bottom? Is going to be a purple light, blue light, or whatever? So I just start slowly do these pencil lines where I'm just like slowly shading. Then afterwards, a lot of this gets blended in with the alcohol marker or the acrylic, right? It gets covered, right? So I don't have to worry about erasing a lot of unnecessary stuff if I don't need to, right? If I go over and I start inking with an inking brush, right? It's about developing your skill and your muscle memory. The more you draw, that's really what that is, right? You start to do things. I don't know if you guys notice when you're drawing stuff, you know where the eyes is going to be all the time that looks right for you, right? It's that when you get enough comfort, right? Like the directions, you don't have to worry about the directional lines and other stuff. Things starts to feel that you've done something. Yeah, I can't, I don't know how to explain it. What's a good term for it? It's basically muscle memory. It's really what that is. That's why I prefer anything start with pencil and paper, right? A lot of the young artists I run into, they always have an iPad and they got Procreate or something that will straighten out their lines, that will fix their curve, that will fix their stuff, right? Those are like fantastic. Those are tools that helps you later on. But things like if you need to, work quickly, I find paper and a pencil is always the best. And the other thing too is I regret a lot is when I was doing panels and pages back in the days, all my stuff was digital. I don't have any physical stuff to sell.
That sucks. Yeah, that's a real big deal, actually.
Right?
That's one of my biggest reasons for avoiding tablets like the Play.
Right? Like
I know that I'm eventually going to have to do that, but that's my biggest reason. You're right about that.
There's something I've noticed a lot of. Original art is coming back, and that is thanks to AI.
To me, yeah, it's thanks to AI. Exactly. I've been saying that all along. CJ, I say not to worry about AI. It's
You
gonna
really
make
want to get
people
me
want.
started right now, Worm?
It's gonna make people want the real art.
Oh, thank you, AI, for making people finally acknowledge that you know you have to have talent. Sorry. Come on, man. Don't get me started.
Yeah, like a lot of the like the cover works that I've done, they're all digital. And the thing with the digital is a lot of the companies I worked with, they go on game box art and they go on other stuff too, right? And the digital file is easy to send.
It's easy to color too. You don't get
It is a lot easier to color.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my God, this face is actually really looking witchy.
Hey, rude.
This is like the weirdest thing. Like I got like hot boobs on a really witchy face.
Yeah, Jay, I was thinking about
Hey,
that, printing a lot of the stuff out.
Stop touching my boobs, bud.
But the
Hold on.
issue, Jay,
I'll be right back.
is a lot of my stuff is like fully rendered. That's the
Hello?
problem. Oh
Hey,
yeah,
babe.
go ahead. Like that, right? It's
That's gorgeous, buddy.
right. It's painted. That's the issue, right? Unless I do line art. That's the only
beautiful. I'm glad somebody told me to
I've
do
been
that.
working on my own comic just for fun.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
that's the best way. I did these. Oh, there you go.
I'm just doing this real fast. I kind of messed up her hat. But yeah, I can show some characters I've been working on.
Okay.
You want to see the characters I worked on for my comic?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's very
Ooh, I love that.
some warrior. Is it a fantasy or is it going to be? Oh,
I don't want to say too much about it. Just because I'm scared. I mean, this is YouTube. Everybody steals ideas off YouTube, so
I'm gonna steal it.
I don't want my ideas to be stolen. But I'll just say it has to do a little bit with like the Anunnaki.
Right. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, anyways, this is what I'm thinking of doing. Hey, Jay, if you're interested, let me know.
That's beautiful.
I want to
beautiful,
do a vampire Japanese period piece comic. So I took Bram Stoker Dracula and placed it in feudal, or what do you call it, in ancient Japan with the shoguns and all this other stuff. And I'm thinking of doing that as a story.
That would be cool. That would be cool.
Right? It's it's pretty much I have a young warrior who is sent into the mountains where there's a legend of a shogun who lived very long life or something like that. And that's really what it is. It's basically Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Jay is suggesting that make a blueprints of your digital.
Yeah, I mentioned to Jay that a lot of my stuff is literally painted. That's the only problem. It's all painted. It's not like comic art where you can do inking and all that stuff. It's it's all digital paint. It's fully painted. It's like, Darth Vader and stuff that are painted covers.
I see.
It's all digital, right? So that's the only thing. Whew. So what I'm thinking of doing is for C3 next year.
Mm-hmm.
DJ Links asked me to do a interior page, so I'm
Mhm.
thinking of actually painting it in acrylic.
Mm.
And let me see. I'm thinking of doing this piece.
I'm gonna have to get out of here, guys. Have a wonderful evening.
Yeah.
Hey, Blake.
Thanks for dropping in.
Oh my
Later,
God,
Blake.
that's beautiful.
Peace, guys.
Wow, look at that, Blake. All right, we see you, Blake.
Yeah, man, absolutely. That's gorgeous.
Have a good one, buddy.
Thanks for coming by, bud.
No, thanks for having me.
Why'd you
That's
scare
really
Bleak off?
Huh?
Why'd you scare Bleak off?
nice. Cheers, guys.
Take it easy.
Take it easy. So I'm thinking of redoing this as 11 by 17, but painted. So it'll be a painted cover or a painted interior for C3. Right.
Very
so I
cool.
did this with Copic. You guys look carefully. Basically, I turned the paper and I let my gray tone marker to dry a little bit and use the chisel edge and just to go over the lines to cause that tail effect. That took a while to figure
That
out.
shine, those scales. That looks cool.
Yeah. If you look carefully, it's just the gray tone, right?
Wow.
Yeah. Layered.
Yeah. It's in layers and layer. It took a while to figure out. I had to try it on a bunch of pieces of paper first just to get that look. So I'm thinking of doing, I guess, Medusa or something. And they'll be battling like Red Sonja or something like that. I think that's what I'm going to try to do. Paint that 11 by 17. And that will be donated. So it'll be an auction for that. Right. I think that's for the event. Right. I did this for, I forget what I did. There was a bunch of other pieces I did that was sold with something similar to this. It was placed, they had a gallery down at a tattoo shop in downtown Toronto. And it was for a fundraiser. Most of these were gone like right away. These were only a few left at the end of the show.
Beautiful.
Oh, where is my back? There we go. Okay. So how's everybody doing with their Oh, CJ's coming along pretty good too.
We put a timer on.
Here's mine.
Nice.
Very
Nice.
good, man.
Do we have a timer on or
No. There's no timer. I just want to see how everybody's doing, right?
See, here's the thing. Like in my head, I'm like stuck that her face needs to look like a witch face.
Well, yeah, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
That picture you
You could
showed.
do your own version. It doesn't.
He's way.
The movie version, the play version, the cartoon version.
Yeah.
So when I think of a witch, she's got to have a little bit of a chin,
Yeah.
okay? And her
Yeah,
nose.
that's a Wizard of Oz witch, which is fine because this is
But doesn't
fiction
she
of
have-
Wizard of Oz.
Isn't that like a witch that you envision when you think of a witch? Like she got to have a little pointy or like a little bump out in her chin, not necessarily pointy, and her nose has to be a little longer than like an average.
That's the Wizard of Oz is the one that made that image.
Well, you
Yeah.
know, it's been around for like over 100 years or like 100 years.
1937 or something.
Don't math shame me, all right? Been around for a while, all right? So here's a technique that I didn't tell you about. I cheated. You see
I
that?
don't need to shame you. You do that on your own, buddy. What are you talking about?
You see that? You know how expensive this tool is right now that I'm using?
Yeah.
Yeah, Q-tip.
This is one of the best tools anybody could ever have in their art box.
Q-tip.
This is
Shader tools do help a lot if you're going to use shading.
my pencil sharpener. This is what I use the best. You get a pack of like 30 of these for like under $1. It's nail.
I've been wondering, like, this thing aggravates me. I got one of these little ones.
Hey Trey, what's up?
It's for this kind of lead,
Yeah.
the kind that you put in.
Yep. I use like what
They always break on me.
yeah.
Oh my
So
god.
I use this because I do use it. I do have the the mechanical pencil, so I use that to sharpen. See, really quick. And if you want, you can throw down the shaving and just use it as blending. It's let me see. It's a pack of that nail polish thing. You know, you buy from the dollar store.
Well, you realize you accidentally turned this into a demonstration of my upside down art skills.
That's right.
That's right. The people got a treat. They got to see world YouTube famous upside
Don't
down
charge
art.
me anything. That's all I said. Don't charge me anything.
The bill's in the mail. I sent you the bill before I even got on.
I'm broke, man. Don't talk about, man.
It's all right. You'll work it off.
Here you go. It's the emery board. That's what they call it. That's the term. Emery board.
Emery board is to sand down like feet and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it's emery boards. Yeah, I got 36 for $1.50.
That's good.
I use this to sand down some of the sketch covers that I get that are a little too shiny.
Well, you take it to another extreme as far as what you do for people when you do sketch covers on there. You want to tell everybody the whole process after you're done actually doing the artwork, because it's fascinating how much more you put into it after you're actually done with the artwork, as far as the whole lacquer.
Hey, look, when you get when you get Loke's car, you're getting a freaking deal, man.
Yeah, those slabs, those are cool.
I want the reason for it is I think that if you're paying for my artwork, I want it to last. And I'm afraid sometimes that the artwork is hung on a window, like, you know, on a wall, and sunlight will hit it. So I put varnish on it to finish it off, to seal it. So you won't get the smudge. You don't get all the other stuff too, right? And I figured a lot of the covers that has people been submitting always end up with a 9.8. Yellow. Right. I do a varnish, so if anybody's interested. I do a satin varnish. I put it through a airbrush, right?
Airbrushed. Oh, I was wondering how you do it. See, I tried to clear coat a bunch of my paintings and drawings and stuff, and I got bad reactions from it, and I ruined like 5 of my pieces.
Yeah, airbrush. Because what you can do with the airbrush is you can control the flow, and you can go over it afterwards. Because you can do a light coat.
I used this gloss finish. This worked the best, but it still affected the color.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do that kind of spray, go with Krylon.
Krylon does it too, but you got to be outside. You can't be.
Yeah, but I'm saying it gives a more even coat when it comes to like that aerosol kind of can thing.
It says it's non-yellowing, but that was the first thing I noticed. Is all my white was yellowing.
The thing you want to look for is archival on the label itself.
And then I just tried spray paint.
Yeah.
Ultra coverage clear, you know.
And that will work too.
Or you could do the old-fashioned brush technique.
The brush technique leaves like brush lines.
Unless you use one of these.
I was thinking though of switching to actual varnish, like that you just brush on.
I use a satin varnish, right? And this will go through a airbrush, but you do really need to give it a large flow. You can't use I forget 0.2 millimeter or something like that. You have to go like with the highest, which is a 3. That will give you a better flow. But after you use it, you really need to clean it right away. Otherwise, the varnish is basically it's the varnish itself is plastic. Once that dry, it clogs up your airbrush, right?
Mhm.
So you really need to clean it right away. And just flush it out with soap and water. That's all you need to do. The other stuff I do sometimes is I buy airbrush medium, right? That's how I thin down some of the color paints that I have, like the acrylic paint, right? I would put 1 drop of this and maybe 5 drops or 6 drops of airbrush medium, and that
Okay.
would be enough, right? That gives me what it does is it takes your color and breaks that down. You can mix it with like a heavy varnish or anything like that, but I use a satin varnish. This satin varnish I found to be really well. I have gloss that I haven't used yet, but I like the satin because after I use like on my sketch cards and all that stuff, for some reason the color really pops when I use the satin. I found the satin to work the best, right? And
Cool.
that is acrylic medium. I don't know what it is.
Satin's just not as glossy.
It's not as glossy, and it doesn't yellow a lot of the stuff. It actually really, really does pop.
Okay.
It pops the color. I don't know. I can't explain it. But a lot of the time when I'm doing,
I know it helps a lot with blacks. Like if you got, like you can see your streak lines in black when you spray that varnish over or whatever. It makes it solid black.
yeah. Maybe that's the case. Is it brings out the black. But again, at the end of it is if I'm painting on top of my drawing, so I do basic enough, then I use maybe ink to do my lights and my darks and stuff like that. Then sometimes I do go back and put a little bit more black just to darken the area or bring some stuff out. Then I spray this on and it works really well. All right. It's a technique I figured out after like almost 1,000 sketch cards. Probably over 1,000 sketch cards.
Okay.
I could test to
I'll
that.
try that. I'll definitely try that then first.
Yeah, it's just Liquitex is expensive, right? Just the name itself is expensive, right? Yeah, I tried other varnishes, and for some reason, I'm always gravitating back to the satin varnish, and it worked really well. I bought the smaller one to start off with. Then I have bigger bottles somewhere.
Hey, Kirby, long time
Hey.
no up here, bud.
Yeah, Suzy Booty.
What's up? You doing drawing with us?
Yeah, I was gonna ask first. Is digital allowed on this panel?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
And you guys been going for 92 minutes. How long is it gonna be?
As long as the worm decides to keep it going.
Yeah, as long
I'm
as
Okay.
gonna be here for a
decides it.
while since you're here.
Okay. Oh,
I'm not finished. I like to finish.
Wait, before we give your blessing on the digital, are you AI?
hey. I've been accused of such things.
Because if you are AI, then we're gonna have an issue over here. How can we test if you're a human? Insult
I
the one.
am partially human because I've had my some of my bones been replaced. Right?
Yeah, are you saying you're a bionic man? Are you a $60 million man?
I am a cyborg. I am a
Okay,
cyborg.
yeah.
I've got a couple of my vertebrae been cut in half and discs been replaced by
Yeah, well,
articulating.
cyborg is we accept cyborg. We accept cyborg.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Look, you said
Yeah.
that Liquitex is your brand of preference.
The Liquitex varnish is my brand of the satin varnish is my preference. Yes.
Gotcha.
That is this is what I gravitate towards, right? If your airbrush can't handle it because it's a little thick, like varnish is always thick, you can mix it with what they call an airbrush medium by Liquitex. All it is it just basically keeps like Airbrush medium.
It thins it.
Yeah,
Got it.
it's called airbrush medium right there. It keeps the same color. If you mix it with any other color, it doesn't like you know how you add water to a color, it becomes really thin. But the medium itself doesn't do that. The medium preserves. It doesn't thin it out. It just what it does is it makes it thin enough to fit through an airbrush. Like, is that how? Yeah, it just breaks the paint down a little bit. So what you can do is you can mix this like 50-50 or a little bit more varnish than this, right? And that will go through like most airbrush itself because the varnish themselves is really thick. It's like smooth thick, right? Airbrush medium is very watery, right? So those are the combination, but a lot of the time is that if you get like a cheap airbrush, this is like a $18 airbrush with which like a large flow nozzle. I think the large is like 3 millimeters or something like that, and you can push anything through it, but you really do need to clean it right after because the airbrush itself is the varnish itself becomes a plastic, so you get this plastic around it, so you really need to clean that off. Otherwise you're just going to clog it every few seconds, you know. If you
I learned my mistake the hard way a long time ago.
Yeah, I already lost like 3 brushes based of that, right?
And we get lazy sometimes too, right?
Oh, it is. It's all about laziness. I'm for that.
After like a
Especially when
long
it's
night of drawing.
Yeah, and you forget, right? So all you have to do is it's just basically, you know, you can get airbrush cleaner, but it's really soap and water. It's just dish soap and water, and you can just let it rest. I have a what do you call those ultrasonic cleaning thing? It's like $20. You know, they clean your glasses that you have there. You put some soap and water in, and you just take all the parts out and just let it sit.
Yeah.
And it's an ultrasonic, you know, it cleans jewelries or something like that. That will
They
do.
use that for the airbrush?
Yeah, you can take the airbrush apart and just toss it in there and just tries to clean out the inside, right?
Well, that's super smart. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. It's
Look at
it
you.
works. It's just that you really do need to get right to it right away, right?
Mhm. I didn't even think of that. Did you look into that Comic Pro Line thing I told you about as far as the backer board for cards that they were doing?
So which one again? Sorry?
The card backer boards that I was telling you to use as reinforcement cards for sketch cards.
Yeah.
Did you look into it?
I didn't look all the way through it, but
Because I know they had sales for Black Friday. They might have them the whole week, actually.
yeah.
Super
Dang,
cheap.
Black Friday. I miss Black Friday.
Yeah.
All right, there's the AI art coming along. There's AI
Yeah.
art right there.
I'm
I mean,
just
cyborg art.
What?
Cyborg art. Cyborg art.
cyborg.
That's witchy.
Just laying in the groundwork.
Now that's what I call a witchy face. See? That's what I want to see as witches.
Am I supposed to draw the what's her name? The black one?
Wicked.
that-
Wicked.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I got the reference from.
Honestly,
Right
I ignored everything they told me completely. I'm just drawing what I want right now.
You can draw whatever you want. It's just that the
Uh-huh.
idea was to get the pose, right?
I'm not even doing the post.
Oh, that
Yeah.
I was supposed to use that one? Oh.
The
I did this-
direction of the look, right? That's the idea. So
Oh, I gotta scratch this. What's that reference? Let me see. Let me find that reference.
I was looking for it and I couldn't find it.
yeah, I don't know where you got
I
it.
just grabbed the first one I could see.
Honestly, that would have made my life easier if I took that pose.
Yeah.
I just needed
Let's see.
to get some boob action in there for the worm, so I had to rotate her body a little bit.
Hey, look, I had a boob. I did add a boob.
You did add one boob, huh?
It was
So the
side
concept for
profile.
this series was to get into
Yeah, you
drawing.
see that boob? That's a pretty
Yeah.
big boob, right?
Yeah.
It is a girthy boob.
Yeah.
Right? It's
Right,
it's
let's
basically what we
see.
want to do is we want to break down if we want to copy a picture. The idea was
Uh-huh.
to look at the reference and we want to break down the actual basic of what the shapes, the planes, and all the other stuff to create the characters, right?
Okay.
That's really what
Alright.
it was the first few lessons we went through was just how to hold a pencil, how to draw lines, how to, how to do shapes. And that was the whole thing. Now we got into a point where now, okay, let's do something fun. Pick a character you like or a pose you like, and we're going to break down where the elements of, how do we do posing and positionings and stuff like that, right? And that's where
Okay.
I did this, quickly looking at the reference that he had, right? And I showed like how do you do lines and to do female characters, you got to keep a lot of curves, right? Everything has to be soft, right? A lot of
Well,
curves and stuff.
yeah.
So,
Well,
and
it
CJ brought
depends
up-
too
yeah,
on the race. Like, not to be insulting.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be insulting, but like a lot of features are different on the different races. And that's how
exactly. But CJ brought up a thing. We
Huh?
start off because we're mostly men. We draw very angular, very
Very
right?
masculine.
Very masculine.
Yes.
But she
I
happens to be
noticed.
this lady is very roundish.
Right. So then I told him that because when we render, we start rounding the curves, we start rounding the lines to create the stuff, right? And I showed him like how to use the shadows to create the stuff, and that's where CJ went in full blown. Now he's bringing back the highlight. He did a lot of the blendings and a lot of the other stuff, right? It's all about finding your style and your shortcut to make it more comfortable. And that's really what this was, right? Because later on, I want to be able to give everybody, if you're doing sketch cards, right? The quickest thing you can do on a sketch card, especially when you have only 2.5 by 3.5, is portrait. If you do full body, you're going to be there forever because you're just like going in with a micron and you're trying to draw all this other stuff.
By
Right?
the way, did you does Trev waiting one of your slab?
I don't know what Trev. What did I get for Trev? What did Trev get? Trev. Oh yeah. He's waiting for Dr. Afro, right? So I'm trying to ship. So
Don't blame Loke. Blame Canada.
it's not that. It's I want to get them all done. So where's Trev? Trev, Dr. Afra, and where's the other one? Afra, and I know I have another one somewhere in here.
In about 5 minutes.
So the only one left is Namans.
You got my left? You haven't done mine? You did Iron Man.
Look, tell them who got the best one.
Oh, well, you got to surprise it. You want me to show you? I'll show it, but I figured you're going to put it on your own screen.
No, I got the best I got the best character. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to show it. Just tell them.
Elvira.
That's right.
Right. So I started painting the background. So now I have shapes for the cityscape. My next thing is going in and literally drawing perspectives of what the city and stuff. And the idea is to have lights coming from the bottom, so it gets darker up here, right? So that's the absolute Batman. That's what I'm working on right now. Then I'll go in and I'll start painting and darken a lot of these areas here, right? But a lot of the time you'll see like it's very subtle, but it's a lot of like light red because from the cape and all this other stuff, right? That stuff will come through. That's the last bit. But everybody's commissions are all in here. And I just got to sort it out, send it to Rob, and Rob will send it to everybody. The other thing I'm waiting for is Dave's one, still 35. I'm still waiting for. He's supposed to send me his X-Men 101 cover.
Don't blame Dave. Blame Canada.
Yeah, blame Canada.
Maybe
And
in Australia.
Yeah, but they're not the one that's out strike.
Yeah, there's a postal strike right now.
Oh yeah.
The U.S. might go into a postal strike too because of Canada going into a postal strike.
You think so?
The unions are they just I know the USPS stopped taking anything that goes to Canada right now due to the strike.
I want to see U.S. try to pull off a stunt like this with Trump in office.
We are.
Let's not talk about politics.
It's going to be interesting. I'm just saying, like I just want to see how that's going to work out.
Yeah. So that's what's happening. There's the strike's happening up here. So I'm a postie, by the way. Just letting you guys know.
He's the enemy.
Lock is a mailman.
I am the enemy. Believe it or not, people think that I make millions of dollars, and my job is really easy. Got bitten by dogs, slipped on ice, got people yell at me for walking on their property, stuff like that when I'm delivering.
Yeah, mailman would be a rough job, I would think. I think it's actually rated as one of the more stressful jobs.
I don't know.
That's,
I really do enjoy it. I worked my ass off through the pandemic. I almost worked literally
the term,
7 days a week.
It's annoying.
The term "going postal" came from there.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I'd have enough of this. Damn you guys.
There's what happened was 10 years ago, the Canada Post, the Crown Corporation, the management created a new unit that was kind of like a separate from the union. They call it RSMC, Rural Service Mail Carrier, or something like that. What we did was, it was kind of like gig work. It was like Amazon gig work. I get paid by the route. So 10 years ago, gas was cheap. So I get paid 52 cents for every kilometer that I drive. 2.5 kilometers, about $1 something for a mile. And I have to use my own car.
What?
That's how it works.
In Canada?
That's what we do. We don't have.
Dang.
We have to use our own vehicles. Now,
You need to come to America.
Gas price today. I'm still being paid 52 cents, $1.25 a kilometer, a mile.
Oh, that ain't right.
We need to get you over here to America, right?
That's what we're.
Well, actually, I'm in Japan, but
yeah. So the Canada Post Corporation has been losing money because the idea was we're supposed to make profit, and they want to privatize the service. So picture this: how big is Canada? Right?
Pretty big, but they
have
parts.
The resident live in the Toronto area, in
Yeah,
where I
have
live,
parts.
right?
Yeah.
The rest is so sparse, right? My route is over 100 kilometers, which is how many miles is that? My route is over 100 kilometers, consists of farmlands, like rural boxes that are in the middle of nowhere. So picture that. So I'm doing this day in, day out, right? And, I'm using my own car at 52 cents.
Dang, I don't like that. Yeah. Using your
I've
own
been
car.
paying out of my own pocket. Then because if I get stranded, the CAA thing won't pick me up because I'm a gig worker. You know what I mean? I have the Canada Post sign on it, like the USPS Post. So I have to pay for commercial insurance, like commercial stuff, out of my own pocket. And the 52 cents is supposed to cover all that.
52 cents.
So if you guys want to know,
Hey.
my salary has been $36,000 a year.
It is time to move out of Canada. Come to
That's rough for a
America.
mailman. Like I think mailman here get like 60.
Yeah, and
Monthly.
they're protected. Anybody
Um,
mess with you,
I'm
it's a
done.
federal
I was-
offense.
The most I ever made in a year was 70 grand, but that was truck driving. I was a truck driver.
Yeah.
But all I make now is, right where you're making. I make like 35.
Yeah. That's
I'll
why
be
I
right back.
do
I'm
commissions
gonna
and
use the
stuff on the
restroom.
side, right?
Okay.
That's what all we're asking for is a raise. That's really what it is. And the way the television networks is, these guys are asking for a 23% raise, but it's over a 5-year period, right? Which is basically like inflationary raise. That's really
Canadian television is government owned, right?
yeah, and it's owned by these billionaires that we have here too. So you guys aren't the only one. And to think about it, it's like there's only 3 stations and 2 people that own everything.
Ain't no freedom of speech
Right.
up there, right?
So yeah, like last year, the reason for it is last year I had to spend 12 grand to repair my car.
Dang.
Like just maintenance and winter tires and all the other stuff, right? The axle snapped because I've been driving in these farmlands, right? It's not like I'm driving on rural, like these wonderful inner city people that you can get Amazon the next day, and they complain, and it's like, but then you get like, right now, I find it funny that they say let's privatize it because we don't need it, but they're complaining that they can't get their mail, they can't get their parcels, they can't get their it's like, if you don't need it, then why? Like small businesses are losing billions of dollars relying on Canada Post because it's not an essential service, because we'll go somewhere else. And it's like, wait a second. And here's the funny part. The board of director every year so far has been giving each other and the management bonuses.
Well, what are they gonna do with all the money they're making off of you guys?
And they're telling us they don't have money because they kept losing. They spent $500 million 3 years ago, over the pandemic to build a new facility. And they bought all these electric vehicles that is sitting in this tarmac area because I'm not allowed to use it because it's cheaper. And they want to turn us back to gig workers.
Dang, that's bullshit.
Right? I have to work, according to them, to qualify for benefit. The new policy they want is I have to work 1,000 hours. 1,000 hour just to qualify for every year, right? If I drop below that 1,000 hour mark, I don't get benefits. So yeah,
that's not right.
It's not right. It's really not right. And that's what
you
we're
guys
asking
as
for.
modern day slaves over there.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I don't want to do what the Amazon guys are doing, is peeing in a water bottle, right?
Damn.
Right? And they're called independent contractors, and they have to use their own vehicles. They have to use all their other stuff too, right? And that's what really it is. And you got a lot of people who live up north that are like, hundreds of kilometers of, miles and miles away from the nearest post office, right? And that's the crazy part. Anyways, let's get back. Okay, so we're doing head sketch. So
basically, what you said, Canada is fucking you.
Yeah, that's pretty much the Crown Corporation. So they're trying to mandate us back to work, so we can't strike because we're essential worker. And
that part of it, I understand.
Because we are essential worker, people are saying that they don't need us. They'll go to, if we privatize. I have no problem if you want to privatize. People don't understand that once you privatize, you do have to report a profit. And these people that lives in these remote towns are not going to get services. Because right now, Amazon can't even deliver stuff to places in.
Oh, they'll get services.
Yeah.
Whether they get paid for those services is another story. But they'll get the service.
Right. So that's really what that comes in. So CJ, remember what I was telling you about the sketch card?
Yes,
How I
sir.
did them? So here's an example. Oh, that's nice, Norman. That looks great. So this is a postcard for anybody interested who wants to make their own sketch cards. So I use Vistaprint. This is a 4x6 postcard, right? What I did was I designed a 3-inch by 3-inch card. But really, if you look carefully, you can actually see I have these trim markers. I put these markers. If I cut within those lines, that is actually 2.5 by 3.5. That's an actual sketch card size. So I created myself a template. You can actually use Canva or anything like that. Create yourself so you make a backside and you make a front side, right? And all you do is go to vistaprint.com or .ca or .uk or wherever it is that you are at, right? Because Vistaprint is one of those printing service that use the local. They're kind of like an aggregate of printers. It's like your business depot or office depot, right?
Yeah, it's almost like how Teespring and all those companies.
Yeah, those guys, right? So what they do is they it's really cheap printing, but it's really printing from the local store nearby that they can drop it off at your house, kind of thing, right? So they farm it out. So this is my thing. So what I did was I made a thing, a postcard on one side, and I uploaded the design, and I had it printed one side. It's uncoated, right? The thing is, the term is uncoated. That means there's no coating. There's no gloss, no satin finish, no nothing. And it comes out white like this. What I do is I take a guillotine or X-Acto knife and I cut it down the middle. Then I get a glue stick and I glue them together like this. Once they're, and I put it between a press, like a paper clip or something like that. Then once let me see, where do I have it? Once I glue them together, when the glue dry, so the reason why I use 2 cards is that if you were to use markers, let's find a dark markers, and you paint on one side,
Go right through.
It'll bleed right through, right? And that will go right here. But if you glue 2 pieces together, like this, it doesn't bleed through because it only bleeds through the first layer. And you got a really strong card, right? For me, I left it like this because what I do is I tape my cards down. For example, I tape my card down, I paint on it, then I just cut it to size. So to get a stack of 500 postcard, I think it's about 36 Canadian or, $20 American for 500 postcards. You cut it down the middle, so you really end up with 500 sketch cards. It's a lot of sketch cards. That's the only thing, right? So this is a really great do-it-yourself, if you guys are interested in doing it. Just glue stick, right? Get the permanent glue stick. The term is permanent, not the kids one that you would pick up. Yeah, and that's it. I mean, that's how I make my sketch cards. So it's really good quality, right? It's nice and hard. Well,
That's what she said.
yeah. I knew it when I opened my mouth. I knew it. Oh, there you go. Nice.
Great.
See?
Yes,
Very
yes. Thank
nice.
you.
See? That is nice.
Thank you.
That
Thank
is
you.
nice. See, that is shading. There's tonal. There's everything, right?
I don't believe you're not AI.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's what people say. That's what people
Yeah.
say.
It's cyborg, not AI. Cyborg.
Cyborg. Yeah. When the
Only,
robots take over,
only an
they
AI
will.
says he's not an AI.
Well, when the robots take over, they will keep me as their pet, and I'll hide all of you. I'll hide all of you.
All right. So we have a sanctuary with the Kirby. You're in Japan too, right?
Yeah, I'm in Japan.
I knew it when I opened the
I
mouth.
don't believe we've ever met Kirby.
Huh?
Do you have a channel? Are you like a YouTube channel or?
I do not. I do not.
Kirby only comes over to my channel and draws.
I've never come across him. That's why I'm asking.
Very talented.
Oh,
He
thank you.
is.
Thank you.
You should jump in sometimes, Kirby. When I do my drawing stuff.
Huh?
I
Oh,
could
what?
use the company, yeah.
Okay. Let me give me that link, and I will.
Yeah.
You should not jump in when I'm doing mine.
Oh no.
It might discourage you from ever doing anything again.
Nah.
I could use the
Everyone.
conversation. That's really what it is. That's
Good.
I just kind of made mine up.
I like that skull.
Oh, that's
That looks
great.
good.
That's
That
great.
looks good.
Yeah.
See, the whole point is
That's more OG Wicked Witch. I like
Yeah, I was thinking the old movie.
yeah.
She's still pretty attractive, Wicked Witch.
Yeah, I
Oh,
drew the old.
CJ, look, that's starting to look.
I love the hat.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Nice,
Oh,
nice.
yeah. She's
Moves.
Look at those
Look at
assets.
she's
It's coming along, right?
Yeah, those
out of there.
3D assets right there. Look at that.
It's coming along somehow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, popping out. Elvira style.
Oh, I like what you did with the
Uh,
hair. there, CJ.
I wanted to go like wonky with the hat, like almost
Wicked.
like it's like freaking shredded all over the place.
I actually like
Yeah.
that tethered look of witch.
She's very witchy, right?
Yeah.
Now this
You
is
got
the
the-
witch you want to encounter, even though she's wicked.
Oh, I'll
Does
stay
look
away
like
from
she
witches.
got a lot
All
of
witches.
texture there, but
I only find witches. Trust me.
Huh.
But if I have to find a witch,
Huh?
I'd rather she looks like this.
I've learned my lesson. Stay away from all witches, no matter what they look like.
All witches.
Yeah.
I've actually been mauled by a couple of witches. So,
Oh no.
oh yeah.
let's see.
My girlfriend called me up before. She said, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm doing like I'm on a stream drawing with some friends of mine." She's like, "Ooh, like I would love to see that." I'm like, "I bet you would." She's like,
Oh, that's cool.
That looks great, Nana.
I'm done with this. I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah. I like
That
the
was
reflection
good.
under the hat.
You know,
Oh,
this
"Put together well."
might sound bad again, but I could tell she's black.
Yeah.
From that
Yeah,
drawing. Yeah. Very good. You got
See,
the racial
you
feature.
nailed the likeness.
Yeah.
You can't tell what the ethnicity mine is. She's not
Or
black.
mine.
Mine's green.
It's got the Baywatch look.
Mine's green.
You got the Baywatch boobs.
nobody looking at Destiny. They're looking at something else.
See, for mine, it's
like
and that's because I'm doing that.
DJ. CJ want us to look at it in our eyes and what color our eyes are. Right?
See,
No,
that's an artist way to distract you from bad art.
Yeah.
You put a big pair of honkers on something. Oh, that's wonderful. Oh,
Very talented, very old school.
That's how I get CJs.
it's
Scott
funny how
Campbell.
different all of our pieces came out, huh?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's the point. There was no point to actually. It wasn't the idea to copy the thing exactly, right?
Oh
idea
no,
was
I failed.
To break down the plane,
No, you did fine. You
Right?
did fine.
right? The idea
Uh-huh.
was to break down the planes, the shapes, the direction, right? So we like I explain how I go about seeing the actual reference itself, right? Because you guys all saw that element itself, and really that's what it was see how we do the shapes first, and to break things down and start doing the shadings and stuff like that. You can do all that other stuff, and you can start doing the final render, right, as your final piece, right? The concept is, can you start taking that? The next step is taking that and start turning her head in different direction, right? If you take that circle, can you start making her look like further down, or change it so now you know that she's looking down, right? From what
Hey,
direction
Jen,
and stuff, right? That's
my,
really what this stuff is. It's that exercise, because eventually, if you are going to be doing like commission pieces at a con and you are short for time, the best way is always the portrait, right? If you can get down your layout all the time, but you can hammer this basic layout pointing one direction and stuff. It has a nice, right? It has that nice portrait look. If you can hammer that down all the time, you can do that for any character. This could have been Cyclops. This could have been, it's just the jawline will change or the expression will change a little bit. But it's always head, direction line, neck, shoulder, that kind of stuff.
I would
Alright.
love to do that stuff for cons, but again, I'm on digital, strictly digital.
Yeah. That's why. I suggest that. It's a great exercise to do pencil, because the best thing you can do is you can make a mistake and you can actually see it. You can't.
I lost most ability to do traditional art.
Yeah.
Hey
'Cause,
guys, I gotta start closing up. So
Okay.
hey Kirby.
Yeah.
Let me show you stuff while I'm talking to you.
You're
Hey,
so drunk.
it's been a long time since we did drawings together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I missed that. I'm sorry I wasn't able to do it anymore.
Yeah, I've had a lot of personal real life issues going on.
Yeah, I don't know if we know,
all do.
but I had a life issues too. Hey, so when we're gonna see you more around, or
I hope so. I hope
you
so.
hope so? Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Well, you got invited to Luke's channel, and
Yeah, I need that link, and I'll show up whenever.
Hey, you
Yeah.
got to
I'll
open the invite anytime you want to come by me, but
Okay. Yeah,
Be
I'll
careful. Be careful.
CJ is insomniac guy.
Oh, that's
and,
good.
Yeah.
Then he's on my time schedule, right? Because
he's on your
I
time
live on the other side of the
schedule.
world. Yeah.
Yeah. So you could go over there and yeah, I can't do that anymore. I miss that so much, but I cannot do that anymore. So
trust me,
now
you're better off.
I'm gonna
Kirby,
go
are
and
you on Instagram there?
I do have an Instagram.
go ahead, put it up.
Oh, okay, let me see.
I'm gonna go ahead and go to Aaron now. Hey Aaron, what's up? I haven't talked to you in a long time too, bud.
Oh, not doing much. Just drawing whenever I can.
I love the new design characters, bud. So
Thank you.
They look great. They look great.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, I'm just slowly ticking that away for fun.
Yeah. You got you written out a synopsis and all that stuff yet, or?
Yeah, CJ ain't gonna like it. I'm using ChatGPT 4 to help me, but yeah, I have. It's pretty cool, pretty amazing. Like, it really does break down scripting, like comic book scripting.
Right.
Yeah.
It'll tell you like every panel description that you need, everything. So
yeah, I suggest
I will.
would be.
I'm not a writer. I'm an artist. So I need help. I need help with my writing, and I don't really like. I don't work well with others, so I want to do it all myself. And
No.
that's the only way I know.
I will be polite.
Yeah.
Because the worm is wrapping up, and I will give you the fucking riot act next time I do Insomniac for using ChatGPT.
Okay.
Rad,
I'm guilty.
read over it and go through it as if.
Yeah, I make my own changes.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's what I recommend you to do. Because. Yeah.
Aaron, I miss. We used to do some drawings together before. I like to do more of this kind of stuff. You know,
I'll definitely come on more.
yeah. I wish I could do a little bit more than the, you know. I wish I didn't have a time limit, but you know how it is.
Yep.
Oh yeah, perfect time for me. I gotta go to work.
Let's see. Anyway, everybody leave your Instagram. I don't know how to. I don't. You got Kirby. You got to leave your Instagram. Can you put it on the chat?
I think you have to be a mod to put it on.
Oh,
Oh,
hold
put it in
on,
the
hold
private
on.
chat. Put it in the private chat.
I put it in the private chat.
Oh, private chat. Okay. Let me see if I could do that. Copy of that. Oh yeah, put it on Instagram, and then I'll put it. Copy. Let me see if I could put on. I could put it on here. Paste myself. Here's a. Did that go? Did that go? Yep, that went to it. Kirby's there. Aaron, give me yours, and I'll put on chat, private chat, and I'll paste it on to the main chat. All right,
right.
CJ. CJ, what's been going on with you, bud?
Good enough for you?
Yeah, boob.
Nice.
I like boob.
Are they large enough for you?
Yeah.
You sure?
Love it. Yeah.
But
What's
they're a
the
little
name? What's
lopsided.
the name?
I gotta
What's the
even
name?
out this boob. This boob is a little deflated. We need to inflate this one a little bit more, and I think we'll be fine.
Is one not missing a nip? Is that what you haven't drawn the nip in yet?
What do you want me to pull the nips out?
Just wondering.
If you would like me to give the impression of the nip through the clothing, I could do that.
Okay.
Again, I try to do
Hey,
something
we're,
very G-rated for you.
It is a cold winter, you know. It
Yeah.
is a cold winter.
Where's
Did
your
I tell
brother
you?
guy on the riff there?
Worm, did I tell you that we're releasing the book in January 21st? We finally got a date.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. You know, I heard the detail from Anaconda Comics.
Did you?
Yeah. So you're gonna something about let's see, what was the you got Brendan, you hired Brendan to write a story? Is that what you did?
No, we didn't hire Brendan. We didn't
Who
hire
hired?
anybody.
Oh, okay.
None of us got hired. We all jumped in this as full partners on it.
Uh-huh.
And
Is
what
Brendan
happened?
in it? Is Brendan in it? Did he wrote
Brandon,
the
all
book?
right, so this is what happened. Brandon wrote a script, all right?
Uh-huh.
He gave it to four of us.
Uh-huh.
We each took that script and drew it exactly the way we thought it should look.
Uh-huh.
Okay, without talking to each other, without any conversations, without any directions.
Cool. That sounds
So
fun.
basically, the book is going to be four different interpretations of the same script.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
So it's going to be a wild, different concept. So I'm hoping there's going to be some general interest in it, because I think that's going to open up the doors for us to be able to do more projects. The plan is to do that and release it with four different artists every single time, or maybe even more.
That's kind of like that heavy metal, right? Style and stuff.
Well,
They used to,
Anthology,
have a theme.
like
Heavy metal is anthology. It's different
Yeah.
stories.
Yeah,
This
they're
is
all
the
different
same
stories.
exact story.
Yeah, I know. It's a little twist on that.
Yeah.
I meant the animation. That was like all revolved around. Remember that little green orb?
Oh,
They
that's
all
right.
came up with their own thing. Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but there were a little twist and a little variation.
Yeah.
We're using the same exact dialogue. No, nothing changes as far as the dialogue.
Okay.
It's literally the characters, the way they look, the backgrounds, the scenes, the tone.
I better be invited for next one, you ass.
Listen, I was already planning to have you involved for something on that. Not necessarily the whole book on it, because you were going through a few things, but I was hoping for your recovery to go a little quicker so we could do it. But
yeah,
one of the future ones, when you're ready and feeling up to it, I wanted you to be on it. You know that.
Mister, I know. Hey, let's see. Look, let's finish up. Look, tell us what's going. Finish up, look.
Okay, so I'm thinking. Okay, so you guys got that. So just work on the head, the direction, and all that stuff. That's for practice. Okay, Naman. So you can get used to doing just head shape and stuff, right? Because ideally, is I want you to be really quick by the time HeroCon comes next year. You'll steal another
Cash only.
table.
Cash only.
When you steal the booth, we'll know. Like,
That's right.
I have to figure out whose booth I need to steal next year.
That's right. So you can do a lot sketch card a lot quicker. Let's put it that way, right? I want you to be able to just do a bunch of profile heads and just hammer it out, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what character they ask and what they like. I just want you to be able to do real roughs real quick. That's really what it is. Be loose and the whole bit. So next Wednesday, what do you want to do? Do we want to do like a complete pose? Like, let's pick something from a comic book, or do you want
some kind of card? Let's fill the card up.
You want to do a card?
Yeah, let's do a card.
Okay.
Let's do a card.
So you want to go from beginning to inking to coloring, or do you want me to just do
ink? I'm just going to do ink.
Just do ink. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to do an ink wash?
Don't matter.
You want to learn to do something like that?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if. Yeah. Let's do wash. What the heck?
Okay.
Let's do wash.
Okay. Okay.
So
So for next Wednesday, we're gonna do a sketch card.
All right.
So we're gonna we're gonna do a sketch card. I'll show you my process.
I mean, I did a few sketch card myself, and you helped me some of those before, right?
Yep.
What I found out about sketch card is that you have to put what I think sketch card is like you take a big action frame. Let's say big action frame, right? Because you can only put on the little card.
That's right.
You have to zoom into area where you're not losing too much of the action. You're trying to do many of the action in there possible, but fit into the card, you know. But one thing that really cool about it is that you can sort of cheat. You could cheat on, you may have something like this, right? And most of the sketch card could be covered by something that's like this big hand.
That's true.
You know,
that covers your whole card. Yeah.
Yeah, it covers up the whole card, and so if you could,
a little cheap.
Oh, by the way, that's my Iron Man with there's you see Iron Man right there.
Okay, so next week we are going to do a sketch card for anybody who's interested. You're welcome to join in. What we'll do is we'll concentrate on a little bit of storytelling on how much space you have. We'll concentrate on what makes a good looking, how to put things into this much space, right? What you want to focus on, what elements and other stuff, right?
Hey, by the way, you guys send me your private Instagram, all of you.
Yeah, and we'll put it in there for the stuff. So we'll do something like this. I mean, this is me doing full color with acrylic and all the other stuff, right?
Yeah.
So that's what that is. But we'll start very basic. We'll do the same thing. We'll go through. I can recreate most of these if you guys want, right? Just to see how it's done. But yeah, that's pretty much. We'll go through my techniques on how to create sketch card that is interesting. Right?
Fantastic. Okay. Hey guys, thanks for joining us today. Was a really pleasant surprise to see all of you guys come on board. This was so fun. God, how long since I did this kind of stuff? Oh man. Anyway, we appreciate you. There's not many people in the chat. Anyway,
that's fine.
Everybody have a good one, guys. Have a good night.
Good night, guys.
Good night, guys.
In the stream.